Alright, hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Alright, so I decided to hold off Electivire and Magmar Community Days analyses. I'm going to do the holistic analysis for both Ultra and Master League and just condense them into one video so it's easy for you. So first off, we're going to start off with Electivire. Now, I've done videos on Electivire already, but I'm gonna kind of just, I'm going to focus more on, rather than like the usage of Electivire in general, like more towards like, does the Community Day move suck? Or is it actually freaking good? Does it suck? Or is it good? Anyways, here we go. First, we're starting with the Electivire. Now, y'all already know I love Electivire. Electivire is actually in my Ultra League team as a Shadow version. I have nuked a lot of Pokemon with Electivire, baited shields, and made a lot of fancy plays because it sports an incredible moveset with Thundershock and Wild Charge. Thundershock and Wild Charge is amazing. As you see, Electivire's stat spread, Glass Cannon. High attack, low defense, and stamina. It will die very quickly, however, it dishes a whole lot of damage. 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to one-shot a lot of things, especially if it's weak to it. And especially if it's Shadow. So the thing about Electivire, it's only weak to ground because it's an electric type. It does resist electric, flying, and steel. However, like I said, because of its low bulk, it's still going to take a lot of damage regardless of whether it's weak to something or not. So Electivire, as you see here, its moveset is Thundershock, Wild Charge, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch. It's the thing about Electivire is that, and of course the newly coined move Flamethrower. So the thing about Electivire is that Electivire is actually better with Ice Punch. So you kind of need Ice Punch. The reason being is because Ice Punch gives you coverage against dragons, grass types, which do resist Thundershock, so it gives you a lot of play. And Thunder Punch, Ice Punch will prompt your opponent to like eat baits or be very threatened by Electivire, especially if it's something like a Dragonite or if it's double weak to ice, which some Pokemon are. And the leagues that Electivire is mainly in, the thing about it is that there's a lot of Dragonites or a lot of dragons or Dragon Ground. So because of that, Ice Punch is very valuable. So, the thing about Electivire, it's semi-expensive. Of course, for Ultra League, you have to max it out to 2,500. For Master League, it must be maxed out. It costs 75k dust to get its second move. Now, you shouldn't have a problem because this thing just had a Community Day, and it has a pretty sweet shiny. It's like solid, it's like orange and like blue eyes. It looks cool, okay? Alright, enter Great League. So, Electivire is very powerful for Great League. Now, the standard moveset, as you see here, it's very powerful overall. Shadow Electivire is more, I would say it's more popular because of its the extra damage really does matter. Electivire itself is very glassy, so the regular version can take more hits, but it really depends. As you see here, Electivire, the Shadow version, is actually an incredible closer. It's insanely powerful. And the regular version is still, if not just as good, but it just features more bulk. As you see, the preferred moveset is Ice Punch and Wild Charge. Now, the reason behind that is because Electivire it's that cover. Ice Punch costs less energy than Flamethrower. And with Wild Charge, it's only one more Thunder Shock to get to a Wild Charge. So it's 40 energy for it. Actually, they're about the same energy. They're the same energy. So if you really do manage your energy, Ice Punch and Wild Charge are basically like the same cost. But Ice Punch costs less energy. So Flamethrower is 55 energy. So we'll go more of that later. But anyways, the preferred moveset for Great League is in fact Thundershock, Ice Punch, and Wild Charge. As you see, it makes in Great League Electivire an incredibly powerful closer. It literally it's literally the #1 closer because if there are no shields, Electivire just runs through the meta. It even beats Bastiodon, which is nuts considering that Bastiodon will chuck a bunch of rocks at you and does heavy damage, but the fact that you could beat such a tank just shows you the sheer damage that Electivire can really dish out. In Ultra League, things kind of get different, as Electivire is also a semi-decent switch. I wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of weak. There are better switches out there for Electivire. However, if you do get an Aussie switched into you, as you see, very good matchup. Now, Ultra League, things kind of change. In Ultra League, Electivire is actually a lot better. So, because Electivire maxed out at over 3,000, the thing is, Electivire is very powerful the more you upgrade it. So, as you see, Shadow Electivire ranks at number 49 overall. Of course, just like its Great League predecessor, it really does, it does a lot of, okay, it just does it does hella damage, okay? It's gonna hurt. If you eat a freaking Wild Charge, it's going to suck a lot. A lot. And this is just open Ultra League. So yeah, it's as you see, you're able to take out Melmetal, Togekiss, Articuno, Escavalier, Lapras, very relevant meta matchups. And even though you're like Giratina, like you still got some good, like 549 isn't bad rate. You gotta be careful about Cresselia, Swampert, etc., which are plentiful in Ultra League. However, as long as you avoid these picks, you can pretty much run through most of the meta. Or break shields. Electivire will either 1, kill whatever's in front of you, or 2, prompt your opponent to break shields unless they actually hard counter it. Now, Electivire Shadow is 62 in the lead. Very good lead. As a closer, of course, insanely powerful. Best in the closer, as with Great League. As you see here, does a ton of damage. Number 7 beats Escavalier, Togekiss, Articuno, Lapras, Charizard. If you don't have shields, you're going to die. If they have energy advantage and you have shields, they're going to die. It's that simple. As a switch, Electivire as a Shadow ranks at 42, 63 as its predecessor. The Shadow version is better than the regular version, just because you're dumping a ton of damage anyway, so now why not turn this thing's eyes red, pump it up with a Punch of Darkness, and make it have 20 less defense so that you could blast its attack up, and then just absolutely annihilate whatever is in front of you. There. I've hyped up Electivire for you. End of story. Use it. It's really good. If you want to build one. So there's no pressure to do so. Oh, whoops, I almost forgot. Okay, so for the Ultra League, that's regular Ultra League. For the Premium Up, Electivire gets even better. With the absence of Legendaries, Electivire is incredibly strong. At number 19 overall, actually overall, it's number 12. So, as you see, incredible across the board. For Premier Cup, Electivire is a beast. Remember what I told you? You're either going to grab shields or your opponent's going to die. It's either one. Pick your poison. So, as you see, it like destroys anything it's weak to. Charizard, Lapras, Galade, Escavalier, Togekiss. A lot of things will die to Electivire Shadow. As you see, Sports at number 17 as the lead as a Shadow. I cover more of the Shadow version because like the Shadow version is just really that good. The regular version isn't too far behind, but there are differences and matchups you will flip. For example, the Shadow version beats Escavalier. The regular version does not beat Escavalier. The reason I hype up the Shadow version so much, though, is because the Shadow version is well worth it. Now, against both Ultra League, as you see here, even with Flamethrower is not recommended. As a switch, it's number 19. As a closer, it is number 1 in Ultra Premier. Electivire is just that good. Use it. Well, as a Shadow, number 5 as the regular version. You beat generally the same things. As you see here, you basically beat the same matchups, except for Escavalier is the only issue. As you see here, you're going to lose against Escavalier. With Electivire Shadow, you beat Escavalier. That's because Escavalier does not get to a drill run, and you do OKO with that Wild Charge. So, you flip, like, a very specific matchup, but that's pretty much... Well, you do flip more matchups with Shadow, but... In other words, overall, it's really freaking good. In Master League, things kind of change a bit. This is where Electivire kind of gets a little shafted because Electivire is a glass cannon and there are just so many oppressive Pokemon in Open Master League. As you see here, compared to its other positions in other leagues, Electivire in Open Masters is not very good. It doesn't sport very good as a lead, 50 as a Shadow, 66 regular. You nuke a lot of relevant meta picks. However, Dialga and Melmetal. Mostly Dialga. As you see, you die to a lot of things. A lot of really popular meta picks too. That doesn't mean you don't beat a lot of relevant meta picks like Togekiss, etc., but like it's just not preferred. As you see, number 44, 72, and for a switch, 48, 72. If there's any league where I recommend you never run Electivire, it's probably Open Master League. Now for Premier Cup, it kind of changes a little bit. As you see, overall, 2021. Not much of a difference in Master League. As you see here, you beat a lot of relevant picks. A lot of relevant picks. Of course, you lose against Snorlax, it's too thick. Garchomp will wall you. And Swampert just destroys your soul. That's basically it. Rhyperior, Mamoswine, like anything that basically resists you, it's a bad idea. If you do have an advantage, it has a it actually beats Magnezone. That's what's interesting because you actually wall Wild Charge, etc. So Electivire is a beast. Electivire's, yeah, he's pretty beastly. As a lead, Electivire ranks at number 8 as a Shadow, 16 regular. Like I said, I rank the Shadow more because the Shadow just does it. But generally, they flip the right matchup. They flip the same matchups. As you see here, you do flip specific matchups, but generally they're really strong in the lead. It's a closer. Shadow Electivire is number 15 or 17. There are better mons out there, but Master Premier is where it falters. And as a switch, Electivire ranks at number 7 and number 10. It's a really great switch. Because you beat a lot of popular switches like Metagross, Magnezone. You do lose against things like Garchomp, Swampert, Rhyperior, and Snorlax. So you gotta be careful because they're popular switches. Like I mentioned, in Master League, Electivire weakens. And in all of these scenarios, do you know what, Matt? You know what it is? The thing is that Electivire with Flamethrower is absolute... I don't want to say garbage, but it's pretty trash. Alright, so here's a little thing. Thunder Shock and, like, how basically why Ice Punch is better than Flamethrower. So for Thunder Shock, here you go. For Thunder Shock is 9 energy, 2 turn move, 3 damage. Now, we don't care about the damage. The reason why I use Thunder Shock is because of one reason. One, we want to kill everything. So, Thunder Shock, here's what we got. 9 energy for 2 turns, right? Okay, so we go to the charge moves, and then we get to Wild Charge. So here's Wild Charge. Wild Charge is 45 energy. So 9 times 5, that's 45. So it's going to take you 5 Thunder Shocks to get 1 Wild Charge. For Ice Punch, all the punch moves are 40 energy. So it's going to take 5 Thunder Shocks to get to 1 Ice Punch. Ice Punch and Wild Charge are both the same energy. Or not really the same energy, but you take generally the same amount of Thunder Shocks after the first one, after the first Q to fire a Wild Charge or an Ice Punch. Now here's Flamethrower. Flamethrower is 55 energy. So that is 2 more Thunder Shocks. 2 more. Because 9 to... Okay, I don't know why I'm doing math right now, but, you know, let's see, 53, 63, so, yeah, that's 2 more. So it's going to take you 2 more Thunder Shocks, because 45, 54, 63. No, wait, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, 63. Okay, so it takes 2 more Thunder Shocks. That's bad. So, the reason why Electivire is so good is because it can spam moves very quickly. That's the issue. With Flamethrower, it sucks. You don't get stabbed. If you bait with Flamethrower doesn't really kill a lot of things. You'll see what things you kill with Flamethrower. But generally, if you're going to finish something, Wild Charge is where you want to go. It's better to go for 2 Wild Charges than to go for a Flamethrower. That's basically what it is. Flamethrower only... I don't even know... I think Flamethrower will kill certain things, but they have to be double weak to Flamethrower. Other than that, you're better off just using Wild Charge. That's why Flamethrower is such a bad mood for Electivire. Electivire benefits from being really spammy and hitting really hard with whatever you hit it with, especially the Shadow version. With Flamethrower, it takes you more Thunder Shocks, more time to get to it, and Electivire isn't that thick to begin with. Because Electivire isn't bulky, you're going to take a lot of damage, and that's GG's. Remember, knowing your counts for your fast moves into your charge moves matters. Knowing how much energy you generate means, and knowing that you outpace your opponent is really good, because that's why Electivire is so good. It's able to outpace and win CMP against most Pokemon, so you're going to get your moves off for sure. Or you're going to take shields. Either one. Alright, as you see here, I give individual rankings for each league. For Great League, I give Electivire a 7. It's great, it's the #1 closer in game, but it is squishy, and there's a lot of things in Great League that could take down Electivire. And for Ultra League, I gave it a 6. Because of Giratina and other things, I can't rate it that strong. However, for Premier, I give it an 8. So Ultra Premier, Electivire is actually really good because it smashes through a lot of the meta. It charges quickly, and it will one-shot a lot of matchups. For Master League, I give Electivire in regular Masters a 4. Don't ever use it for Open Master League. It's just that bad, and there's just so many things like Dialga, etc. that will kill you. Masters Premier, I give it an 8, just like Ultra League. It's actually really good if played well. It's just there are things like Garchomp or Swampert that will give you some problems if you use Electivire in Master Premier. Again, Electivire is better with Ice Punch Wild Charge. Flamethrower sucks. It's not good. You look right here, Flamethrower is actually way worse than having an Ice Punch. If we put it in Ultra, let's test it in Ultra League, because Ultra Premier will put Electivire. But Electivire is really good. It charges really quickly, does a lot of damage if you're able to play it well with its energy, and especially if it has shields. It's another big thing. Other than that, like, without Ice Punch, what you give up is just so much. As you see, 65% win ratio. You give it Flamethrower, watch what happens. You give it Flamethrower, that 65, and you go all the way down to 38. That's how bad Electivire is. And this is the 2 shield, by the way. You go down a whole 30 points in one scenario. That's bad. So Electivire is really good for several reasons. One, it charges Fist quickly, it does a ton of damage, and you will pressure your opponent's shields a lot. The cons are Electivire is a glass cannon, it's not super thick, and it takes a good amount of player skill to use. And other than that, Electivire is a monster in Go Battle League. If you play well, if you have energy, if you get it against positive matchups, and it does have energy and shield advantage, it's going to bust through a lot of things, and you're going to nuke a lot of Pokemon. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I would keep Flamethrower just in case, so keep one just in case for some odd reason Flamethrower gets magically buffed and all of a sudden it's better than Ice Punch. But I would just keep it in the storage just in case. Like I said, we never know if moves will get buffed or debuffed. Flamethrower might be an option, but for until the future we don't know. Better safe than sorry, and to keep a Flamethrower one just sitting there for Ultra or Master League or just a few evolved. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. If you guys enjoy this analysis, again, please like and subscribe if you like, and I will see you on the next video.